Okay, so I'm going to try Gravity Sketch, very quick polygonal modeling. I'm going to do the warrior bug from Starship Troopers, one of the aliens I've done many times over the years. I'm not going to use reference. I've had a quick look online, just to make sure I remembered the anatomy well enough. But inside the scene, I'm not going to use reference. So let's dive in and just see how far we get. Okay, so I'm going to use Gravity Sketch standalone in a MetaQuest 3. So this has got no PC attached. This is just modeling on the headset in Gravity Sketch. And remember, Gravity Sketch is free. So I'm going to go non-dominant hand. So for me, that's my right hand, purple button. Make sure subdivision is on and hit cube. And I'll just pop a cube in the scene. It's way too big, so make it smaller. And I've got symmetry on, which is here. So thumb of my non-dominant hand on the blue button, and it gives me all of these sketching age preferences, workspace, and beta. And then obviously I want mirror on, I'm not bothered about vertical lock, and I want surface contours on so I can see what I'm doing. So I've got the two cubes in the scene, and I'm going to hit blue button with them selected. I'm going to flick left and right with my dominant hand thumb until I come to face mode, and then I'm going to delete that and then just snap these together. I'm just going to do it. I could snap the faces, but I like to do that so I can absolutely see that everything is rock solid together. So I'm going to make a few different pieces first of all. So that's the body, or the front of the body, should I say. So I'm going to do the front in two pieces. So I'm going to do another cube. In fact, I don't need to do the front in two pieces. I'll keep that exactly as it is. So I'm going to go back to the same mode, and I'm going to run a split through here, and that will bring me to the basically where I know I've got to have like a cowl at the back. Here's like a spike comes out of the back, and then I'll split it there, and then that means I can go down with the bottom one and up with the top one. You'll see what I mean now. So I'm going to grab this and come down with this one. This is the bottom. So bigger purple brush, so I'm pushing forward with my thumbstick to make this selection ball bigger and smaller. So I'm going to bring all of that forward. That's going to be the top one, sorry, the bottom one, and then the top one will be like this, and that cowl will go around like that, and that will mean that it's already split top and bottom. And obviously with these creatures, they have like a weird jaw effect here. Well, basically it comes up here like this. So I'm just adding splits. That's all I'm doing here, is just putting like literally with my fire on my dominant hand, I'm just firing in. So that's already given me the core shape. I'm going fast with this one because I want to just test myself a little bit. I haven't done this. I've been off VR for quite a few years really, simply because I wanted to give my eyes a break. I had some eye issues, turns out nothing to do with VR. It was more to do with just years of abuse on the computer. So I'm running splits where I think I need them to get the shape. I'm thinking about this front here, maybe another one here. So again, apologize if I'm going too fast for you, but this it isn't so much a tutorial, it's just more of an inspirational, let's make a creature kind of session. And we may have to adjust it. We'll probably take it to another program once we've finished. So that's given me enough. Maybe bring that up a little bit like that, and then down with this, because it's got this like chopper effect, and then up with this. So it's got the same effect from the bottom. I'll zoom in if needed, so I'm using inner grips just to zoom right in if I feel like it's needed. Splits wherever I feel that's needed, and that's probably enough for that one. We're going to subdivide it, so it's going to be a lot smoother than this obviously at some point. So we'll get the basic shape down in this low polygon way, and then we'll have a look at that. And if we have to redirect the geometry at some point, then obviously we will. But at the moment, I'm just exploring these basic shapes to start it off. I think that might be a bit narrower. Wouldn't be any harm to use reference in the scene. I just thought, you know, I've had a look at it on Pinterest, so I just thought I'd just see how far I get with it in this way. So that's the body kind of done. Now it has a bit of a body segment underneath from here, so I will select. So I'll go to face mode. That's this one. Have to flick with your thumb here, and then I'll just have a look at how much I can select here. So let's just do all of that, and that's probably about right, somewhere like that. So back to point mode, I'll run a split down there. Actually edge mode first. Split down there, bring that one up, so that'll give us a nice tight line to the body, so it will subdivide nicely. If you don't know what that means, I'm going to show you in a few minutes anyway, so don't worry about that. And then the legs are going to come off this kind of segmented part here, so maybe bring that back. I'm just trying to think now where the legs will come from, and where the legs will be separate, obviously, but so let's have a look at it subdivided now. So what I'll do, blue button again, purple button, and I'll pull it out so you can see it in the scene in front of me there, and then with subdivision on and one level on, you can see what I'm doing as a subdivided object. So that's rounded it off now, so I can have a play with it in this rounded way. If you want anything sharp, put an extra loop in. Be careful not to run it too far through the entire body, but this is what it'll be like when it's rounded. So it's good to have a look at it early on, just to make sure you're getting the kind of shape that you think you want. I can bring these down a bit. That's looking fine. Maybe that entire lot can go up a little bit, and maybe that can all go down a bit, something like that. And then maybe make this a bit bigger at the bottom. If you want to smooth anything down, go over them and just push up with your thumbstick, and it just tightens them down. Now I've made a mess there actually, so I'm going to go back for that. I've got to be careful tightening it there, so just be a little bit mindful of that. You do it. I think there will be some more complexity in there, but that might be what we can add in sculpting later on, once I've modelled it correctly. Don't like that kick there. Seems about right. Now we need something for the legs to come off, so let's say for example this one here, and we'll just extrude this out a couple of times like so. That's where the first leg's going to go, and we can even take that face, bring it in, and then go in one, so it gives us a little bit of a, you know, you can basically see where the leg's gonna come out of. So just shape that up a little bit, and then take this next one, and to make it smaller, I'm just obviously both your grips, we'll bring that back. Now this needs to be a bit further forward, and this needs to be a bit further back. There we go. And that's how our legs are going to look. So let's do the legs. So we'll do exactly the same. I'm going to get another cube, just bring it in the scene. Obviously it's huge there. And we don't need to join these together. We're going to keep these completely separate. So we're going to place them where we want them, and we're going to repeat them, so it's going to be so easy. It doesn't seem to be subdivided there, so we need to make sure it's a subdivision object like that. I'm going to keep it as a square, doesn't matter, we're going to subdivide that in a moment. So if I remember rightly, they come down like this, and then that will turn like so. So we'll put a split in there in a minute, and then it'll come up like this, and then it will turn like so, and it will come down like this. Now, one tip you can do is you can put a floor on, because how do you know where the feet are going to go? So if you just come back out, and then if you come up to the top here and put stage on, or basically stage like that, you can see there it's put the stage in for me. So obviously you can see my scaling is all out, so we'll grab this like so, drag this one down here. So we're off symmetry a bit now with this, but it doesn't matter now because we've pretty much got this how we want it, and it will stay symmetrical within its itself basically. So I want that to be something like, let me think, something like that, I think. And then there's one here, and then there's one here as well, and there's also some weird little thing here, which is just one little stick which comes out the back down here, if I remember rightly, and just down here. So that's pretty much the block out done. So let's just make one of these legs accurately now. So blue button again. So we need to do a couple of things. So if we put a split here and we shrink the end, that'll give us a nice, you know, spiky kind of end to this particular segment. What I might want to do at this point is I could split it. Actually, no, we won't. I was going to put a split through it, but there's no point yet. So let's just say that this might go a bit thinner in here. So we might bring this a bit in here and this a bit down, or something like that. Maybe the same here. As much as these are an arachnid, as they're called in the TV show or the film, I think the limbs have got a little bit of a, you know, there's a couple of different animals in there. I think it could be a bit more crustacean in some ways, although I can't remember that well. Maybe I should have done more, you know, a bit more research. Sometimes it's good fun just to get on with it and just see how you feel. That's it. So let's bring this out again, and we'll just pop it up here out of the way, move the light a little bit, and then subdivide it. And now we can see if we've gone too thin, which we have. So let's get this looking good into the hole here. So keep adding geometry as needed, and maybe subdivide it one more time. So I'm now going to start pushing it into its correct shape. So that's going to go into that hole there. I do like this knuckle. This kind of joint here has gone really well, I feel. So I'm not going to change that at all. That seems to look good there. Going into the back of there. And maybe this is a bit thin, so I might bulk this up a bit. I'll be tempted to put spines on this at some point, but again, I'll probably just get through the first modelling session first and then see how we feel. Bring this up on the knuckle, another split through there. That looks good. What I love about this is, and I've loved this with VRSketch ever since this was developed, and I was lucky enough to be involved in helping them develop the Polygon tools here, is that the geometry is good. So if you do this correctly, this is true polygonal geometry. So when it comes out, you can just go straight to 3D print, presuming it's watertight, which I love about that. There's nothing to do. I don't have to mess around like I do with when I use the CAD tools a little bit and make sure all of the surfaces are welded, etc. So it is my kind of world, really. So obviously I like polygonal work. So so that looks good to me. We can delete that leg now. We can delete that. Oh no, what am I talking about? That is that leg. So we'll go inside here and we'll copy that. So maybe move that light for the minute just while we're working on here so I can see it from this front bit. Something like that. And then this, I'll make it a bit bigger. And I am going to change it a bit from this angle because it's not quite how I want it. So I'll get that back into its joint. What I do a lot is I'll take this to another program. So in this case, I'll probably take it, because I'm doing a lot of mobile work, I'll probably take this to an iPad and probably sculpt over it, and UV map it and all of the things that we want to do for for getting it to the next stage into AR or or animation, something like that. So that looks good. Now, can we repeat that again, or do we need to make something new? I don't know until I put it in. So let me take this one and bring this down like so. Yeah, I think we can get away with it and reuse it. What I might do is, I can't remember, but I'm going to put some kind of a receptacle area in here just to make it a bit more real world. It just doesn't sit on the surface. That might be wrong, so I might have to peel that back a bit. I might have to correct that in the future. Now, what I'm doing here is pressing the blue button just to get the point. So I'm just going to smooth these down. I'm going to grab them all. If you want to do a smooth a different way, come to your dominant hand, hit the tool panel, and you've got loads of tools here. So what you could do is just take the smooth brush here, and that goes bigger and smaller, and you can just smooth it like that. But I find it much quicker just doing it the other way. So, is there two there? Kind of feel like there might be two. No, I don't think so. Let's turn this off. Oh no, there's two. So how did we do that? So for some reason I've managed to copy two, so we can unlink them with the purple button like so. And then just delete the one I don't want, which we'll keep that one. Red button to delete, and then that one back in there, and then carry on again. So as I was saying, the two different ways of smoothing are both exactly the same. Really, one's just a brush, so I just find it so much quicker just using it on the fly like this. Anything that speeds me up a tiny bit is preferable to me. I'm flicking through the different modes here, as you can see, and then tightening it down in different modes. Yeah, quite like that one, like so. And then I do think that this is just some kind of a stick out the back, if I remember rightly. So what I might do is I'll delete these points here, and I'll show you how to close something off. So say I just wanted to use this and then close that end off. I can just select basically make sure I'm in edge mode, and then just take that edge whenever you know you've got it, like so, and just bring it across and then snap it close, and that will just basically close it down. It basically closes the polygonal hole, and then you can run splits around it again, even round that way if you want to really go for it, like so, and then let's subdivide it. So on, and then smooth it down, get out a little bit. Looks fine. I don't really know. I can't even remember if I'm right here. This might not even be part of it, but I seem to remember them having some kind of an appendage or something sticking out the back here. So, and again, I don't like doing something without any kind of a real world link. So I'm going to give that, and then we can change that later if we don't like it. And that's it. I don't even know how long that's taken, but I haven't got my wristwatch on a digital wristwatch. But that is the shape that we need. That is pretty much, I'm going to guess 20 minutes, and we've got a very nice polygonal model. Now look, I have got it wrong here. So we've got two of each in there. So that would be a problem if I hadn't noticed it. There's two models in there. So we just need to get them out as a fix. So unbreak them, and then there is two, and delete one. So just that, be aware of that. Okay, so what we do need to do is just turn subdivision off for all of these models, and it won't look very good now because we're going all the way back to the low poly, but that doesn't matter. what we need to see is everything as low as we can. And if everything's as low as we can, now when we come to save it, so we go come up to the main menu and we'll go save as, and we'll just name it. Let me stand back a bit. So it's Warrior Bug 001, enter. And that is the low poly model save. So what I'll do is I'll put that in Nomad and we'll have a quick look at it and how we can sculpt on it and paint it up as fast as we can. So I took our little alien into Nomad Sculpt on the iPad. You can use anything, Blender, Cinema 4D, Maya, it doesn't matter, they're all the same, but I'm using mobile sculpting quite a lot. So if we tap on the model and I put a wireframe on, you'll see that that is the low poly that I got from directly from VRSketching. Now that's one subdivision up, and on top of it now what I've done is I've sculpted and I've painted. But the great thing is with this, if I can show you, I'll just hide our background there, and if I hit inspect, you can see there this has got a UV map, which is done in Nomad very quickly. Lots of programs will do that for you, and obviously with a UV map that means you can now bake textures onto it the same as you would in Substance Painter and in ZBrush, and all of those textures are already on it. Actually, they're already on here. So we've got a normal map, we've got a roughness map and a metalness map, if you know about those kind of things, for a PBR or a physically based rendering pipeline. So that is how simple it is to use VRSketch as the polygonal modeler. As you saw, this was only a 20-minute build, so this is not, and I probably spent about another 20 minutes doing the quick paint job and the quick map generation. But that's pretty much how I'm doing it from VRSketch to Nomad Sculpt. Thanks for watching the video, and I do hope you liked it. Our goal with this channel was to help you create in new and innovative ways, and we're always looking at new types of software to help us do that. So if you do like it, give us a thumbs up, and if you like it enough to give us a thumbs up, then why not have a look down below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, and have a great week, everyone.